We live in a society. Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian, and today we're gonna be slithering into battle with the Serpent Society. These snake-themed villains have Death Touch, care about Death Touch, and care about the death of other Death Touchers. This 3-mana 3/4 also has a very strange ward. It is ward to give your opponent 5 poison counters, so this deck also has a little bit of poison on top of its typical bitey fare. This deck is Death Touchers, low-cost ones, and ways to sacrifice them. Whether you're sacrificing them to other Death Touchers, or maybe you're just using a more typical sacrifice engine like Yawgmoth or a Chthonian Nightmare, the Serpent Society will be spitting out some venom by sacrificing your Death Touchers to make your opponent sacrifice their non-token creatures. And the fewer blockers they have, the more likely you are to get through with things like Finn the Fangbearer, getting yourself a little bit of a poison boost, or some new cards like White Widow, which buffs your Death Touchers, or Black Widow, who gives you card draw based on hits. We also have some other on-hit and on-attack cards like Baragoyf and Hooded Blightfang, and some other Death Touch synergy, including some kind of unusual cards that you might not see outside of a Death Touch deck. I'm talking about all of these little cards down here that are 1-mana Death Touchers. Sure, you'll see them in Finn, but they're a lot more fun when they force your opponent to make some strange decisions about how they want to block. Are you willing to give up 2 creatures to block 1 Death Toucher? How about forcing your opponent to block all of them, or just killing them with a single Triumph of the Hordes? The Serpent Society is a strange commander, sure, but because it has this really fun Death Touch and ward, you can force your opponent into some really weird combat decisions. You can also use like bite spells and fight spells with this deck, and maybe you can force your opponent to target your commander to try to get them to get the 5 ward counters, because you can, and it would be funny. So let's take the Serpent Society into the queue and see who we can poison first. Moleman, Moloid, Master. It is hard for me to get past tokens with this deck because I can only force people to sacrifice non-tokens. Somebody was asking about Ophiomancer and why it isn't in a deck. And well, let me give you like a very quick answer. The Serpent Society is a snake. If you have an Ophiomancer, you will not make snakes. It's just how it is. Moleman helps them go wide and just recur lands over and over. If they get an early fetch, they'll just keep on fetching and keep on fetching. I went for the Phyrexian Tower here, just in case I needed to force something to die. Yeah, holy moly. It's a very good card. Ooh, Jesse Zane. I'm gonna bolt this in. Here's my Serpent Society. Swing in with Dragon Sniper. In their upkeep, sacrifice the Dragon Sniper. They can use the mana for Expedition map, so it's not like I'm cutting them off that hard. But you gotta do it now. Okay, so they didn't use it for the mana first. Kill the Badgermole Cub. This is me trying to make it harder for them to use Mole Man. I can go for Jesse Zane or Black Widow here. Go for Black Widow and see what I can draw off Serpent Society. Oh, I should have manually tapped my Hobbit. I could technically make them, like, sacrifice this. And now I might! I got a grist. It's Black Widow, baby! Yeah, Black Widow and White Widow are two really good cards in this deck. They're also both assassins. They were both in that Atrata deck I recently updated. You're gonna crack that expedition map? Yeah! They get any land they want. I'm gonna go ahead and guess a fetch. Ooh, no, a bounce land to start. This will help me draw more cards, so I will play Questing Beast. And they are so totally done with this. Forcing them to sacrifice before they can get their things was a good strat. Sagan, Raider Warlord is a card that went from being digital only to being printed in paper. The first time this has happened, as far as I know, where a card has gone from an alchemy card to a black bordered, non-acorn stamped paper card in Mystery Booster Commander. I also just updated my Sagan deck because it's exciting. Sagan is real. Sagan is real. And so am I. Go, Serpent Society! This deck is about first strikers and double strikers. The more they have, the bigger a buff their creatures get. And if they get to max speed, everything has first strike. Also, Sagan gets Death Touch. What's up, Thalia? Nesting bots. They had started their engines, but they haven't followed up yet. I'm gonna play Gix and swing with Serpent Society. Gix might not be a Death Toucher, but it's really good with all the on-hit things. People don't want to block creatures with Death Touch, as they shouldn't. Brutal Cathar. The front side does not have first strike. The backside does. Yeah, it's first strike there. And their speed goes to 2. I guess I could free Gix. I'll just play Unstoppable Slasher. Can't be stopped. First strike is an enemy of Death Touch, especially when it comes to all the 1/1s in our deck. Mox Hamburg gives them extra white. There we go, there's another land. Right now, they only have one first striker out. So I'm going to swing in with my hash-slinging slasher. And bolted. They'll have to sacrifice something. I think you sacrifice Nesting Bot because it gets you another creature. And I'm just going to play something that should hold them at bay. Sheoldred. The second biggest Death Toucher in my deck. My deck is mostly 1 and 2 drops. But we got a couple biggies right this. Alright, Boris Recruit. It will die. This causes a sacrifice, right? Yes, it does. I'm trying to decide if I want to sacrifice Sheoldred to get rid of Tajik here. Or Serpent Society, honestly. But nah. I'm gonna drop the I'm gonna drop Sheoldred. I have the reanimate. This gets rid of Tajik. And something else. Probably Thalia. Yay! I don't have to pay taxes anymore! Whee! Wait. Hold up. You might not have anything to do with Death Touch. But that's one damn good card. Oh, okay. I see. You can dish it out, but you can't take it. Johnny Nakot Pariah, the brother killer himself. I wish Serpent Society also killed Planeswalkers. It would make me feel a little bit better. Because this card, Johnny, it's incredibly powerful. It goes wide, it deals direct damage, it takes out everything you know and love. And it wins the game really quickly. I feel that because you can be the one to kill a cat you control to transform this into the Nakot Avenger, it's really easy to flip. And I'm flipping out every time I have to play against it. I feel like going for a Deathrite Shaman here. Yeah, let's go for a Deathrite Shaman. It doesn't have Death Touch, but it can be ramp. It can be Graveyard Hate. It can just be good. Behold! A creature. A Reacher. And it's got Death Touch. Two mana. Is it a Jana Clock? It is. Oh, good. I got some mana I can use here. So Grist I can use to kill Planeswalkers. I think I just want to play Serpent Society, though. And I gotta try to figure out... Okay. If I were to attack with Fate Weaver, the sacrificing of the Ajani would go on the stack, but he would actually transform first because of Apnap on my turn. Dang. So I don't get to swing with Fate Weaver. No, because it would be active player. Them having to sacrifice Ajani would go on the stack. And then non-active player, them, the Ajani transforming would go on top of that. And it would transform. Oh, what's up, Gut? You gonna kill that cat? He transforms. I am going to double block with these two. They can manually assign damage so the Fate Weaver doesn't die. They're not doing that. This way, Gut gets sacrificed and they don't get direct damage off the Ajani Zero. Yes, it has to be on their turn, one of my creatures dying to do that. But hey, I got them to sacrifice this and they plussed. They plussed? What's going on over there, Johnny? I'm gonna play Just Zane, who loves how many snakes we've got in the deck. Don't be messing with that hissing. You wanted to make me sacrifice an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, a planeswalker? Or everything but one of each? Does she scale with my snakes? She does. They've got 3 mana. They have no creatures. They can make a creature. They can make the 2/1. And if they play a red permanent first, they'll be able to deal some direct damage, either to my face, to my creatures. But if you play non-token creatures... Oh, I'm getting rid of those baddies. I got Grist to do some sacrificing. Sephiroth, too. Marvel Boy? Are you a cat? No, but I could see you being a decent card in this deck because you just kind of make a bunch of stuff, make a bunch of stuff, make a bunch of stuff. Another creature has entered. Marvel Boy grows. They're dealing 3. Ooh, but they misplayed here. If they had not played Marvel Boy, they wouldn't lose Marvel Boy. Die, Marvel Boy. Your name is silly. I'm going to swing with Serpent Society at a Johnny. I assume they'll block. And even though this is a bummer for me, I don't get the forcing them to sacrifice. It only kills non-token creatures. This kills the Ajani. And I like the part of the game where the Ajani dies. I think that Ajani should probably be banned in this queue. Even though there's tamer Ajani decks, it's just a matter of, like... Unless you are playing one of the highest power decks, even a kind of bad Ajani is going to be hard to play against. What's up, Grist? Girl, why would you betray me like this? Gifted Aetherborn. Sephiroth. And if I choose to sacrifice this, they'll probably just drop the Grist. Sephiroth helping me stabilize that life total. Yeah, he's banned in the competitive queue, but not here. They drop some cards. One land, one non-land, so they just get one elemental. Johnny, play what you got. You're not swinging in? All right. Even though this has flash, I would like to play it here. Because I want to see what I draw. And I might even sacrifice it to Sephiroth to draw again. Swinging in. Sacrificing the Viper. They'll probably sacrifice Seasoned Pyromancer. I wish this was in play. I mean, this is not a death-touching creature. It's just good. And playing Black Widow, Deadly Hunter. Part of our Death Touch synergy. Oh, you getting reprieved? Okay. Black Widow goes back into my hand. Scarjo ready for action. This art is pretty cool. With her, like, blending into the, like, cityscape. They told Black Widow to take a little break. Yeah, like... Just take a moment for yourself, girl. You've been through so much. It makes the Black Widow insignia with the negative space. Yeah, it's cool. It makes the I don't know what to call it, the hourglass. Yeah, hourglass is right. They swing in Ragavan and Karizev. I will block the generated Ragavan. I'll still take 3 damage, but I'll gain a life and they'll lose a life. If I swing in here... It's not terrible. It's honestly like a bigger question of, do I sacrifice Black Widow or not? Because I'd like the draw, but I'd also like the more guaranteed draw of Sephiroth. Let's go. That Catman, he might be flipping. But if he does, he does. And now they don't have another red permanent. Let's get some damage in. Oh, no, wait. They do have a red permanent. They have elemental token. So close to flipping this guy. So close. If only I had one of my bites. Aw, yeah, I sacrificed Black Widow, but I don't have the Soul Stone to do it. Sorry, it was just Sephiroth killing her. This is the MCU canon now. Sephiroth showed up. Knifed her right through the back. What a scam. What a scam. What types do I currently have in the graveyard? Planeswalker and creature. I'm asking because of woodland. Pyrogoyf, do you come down and just, like, blast Sephiroth here? Sephiroth, become immortal! They're down to 5 life. Dang, but there's an ocelot. They did not gain any life this turn, as far as I know. Gonna kill my Serpent Society? Enjoy the poison. They have 4 life left, now 3 life, I guess. And 5 Poisson. Okay, what do I have off Finale of Devastation for X equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? I know what I have on 4 and 8. If I get Roaming Throne and I name human or avatar Soldier, what do we get? Normally I'm using this to grab Finn. But this is not the time. See, we got the Beastic Queasting. They have to block the Pyrogoyf on Questing Beast. That's the only legal blocker for it. By the way, the Roaming Throne, the way that they lived through it was unfortunate because they gained a life to, like, chump block it with Ocelot, I think. And they're dead. 3 creatures die. They had to block with Ocelot Pride to gain a life. Liliana, untouched by death. This is a zombies commander. She's gonna be milling, making zombies, killing things with the zombies. And I kept this hand because it's got a little bit of graveyard hate to it. Both Deathbright Shaman and Corpseweaver Prodigy. Ooh, Crypt Breaker. I feel like I don't get to see enough zombies decks. It's one of those fairly well-supported creature types. but it's just hard to compete with the other very, very cohesive creature types and super strong commanders that are out there. Oh, they're killing Ophelia. They're doing some self-milling. They milled 2 lands. Yeah, the -3 on this Liliana lets you recast zombies from your graveyard, but if there are no zombies, then you have no zombies to recast. I would like to exile a land. Grab an extra green. Nope, I would like to use this. Playing Serpent Society and Grand Pulch Ochu. What a name. It's a nice 1-drop. It's got Death Touch. There's a good new 1-drop with Death Touch coming out in the Hobbit set, too. Jet Medallion into a Hobbling Zoblin. It's got Death Touch, just like me. Just like the best of us, it's got some Death Touch. I'm going to sacrifice the Ochu. They sacrifice. No, I want to make sure I'm leaving up green to gain life here. Corpseweaver Prodigy. Exile the Cryptbreaker from their graveyard. I don't want to attack in here. We gained life, and now we have a bridge from below in the graveyard. And Corpseweaver Prodigy makes their creatures get exiled instead of dying, which would stop things like this guy's decay. And, like, I can stack up Bridge from Belows with this deck. Oh, Diabolic Intent. What is your intent here? Is it to get a board wipe? Please don't. In Final Fantasy 13, these were scary. I did not play that one. Yep, they got a board wipe. Toxic Deluge, but with no creatures in play. That sets me back pretty far. Hey, at least I get the bridge triggers. Nice, nice, nice! Who's the real zombie deck now? It's me. Wait, hold up. Oh my god, it's off by 1 for Triumph Lethal. Okay. Grist plus swing. Grist is in here as very good Planeswalker removal, because this deck otherwise has some difficulty with it. Also, it's just good. Maybe Delusion? Yeah, but I might get to be toxic. Great. Flare of Malice was exactly the thing that didn't change the output. I'm swinging in for 11 damage. 11 poison damage. GG, Liliana. Thor, God of Thunder. This is such a fun commander if you like big red spells, because you deal damage equal to the amount of mana value. Not mana spent, mana value of the spells you cast. And you also get to recur your artifacts, specifically equipments, and instants and sorceries. Ooh, okay. Scraps, let's start messing with that hissing. I like how there was just a disembodied hand. That was just Nick petting this cat. She's so cute. Yeah. Oh, Induces Panic. Thank you for the sub. I hope you're ready for some snakes. Some hissy business. Jesse Zane is good in this deck because the commander is a snake. She also like generates more death touchers, which is pretty fun. Yeah, my cat does not like snakes. She's never like actually seen a snake, but she doesn't like the things that she thinks are snakes. Oh, Ambush Viper. Okay. I want to steal, actually. I'm gonna play this Gonti. For anybody wondering, hey, Amy, what does this Gonti have to do with Death Touchers or anything else? Nothing. This Gonti is literally in this deck because I think that it's fun. And we have, like, creatures that people don't want to block. So, Gonti it is. Rev gives Death Touch if you want something similar, but it's a worse card for 1v1. Oh, okay. I got land. I got shove aside, party thrasher. All right, I'm into it. This shove aside, I could even use on my own creatures to kill their creatures. Aw, man. Well, there goes my everything. Fine. Fine. A world weave? Ooh. I'm gonna play Party Thrasher. And flash out an Ambush Viper on their turn. Tablet of Discovery Mills. They'll be able to recast Burn Down the House, too. If they use Thor for it. I would say he's not quite a Storm deck, but he can be a Storm deck. My house burnt. We discovering something over here? What's going on? March of Reckless Joy. That's going to give them a big impulse draw. Lightning Greaves, Flame Slash, Pinnacle Monk, and Long Shot. Long Shot's an all-star in any of these mono red spells decks. A Flame Slash! Go, Ambush Viper! Ambush him! I'll play that World Weave. Ambush Viper. I could wait, but I want to see what we get on the land. And what we get on the draw. Since I have a lot of one-drops with Death Touch. Well, cards like Gaunty, Gix, anything that's got an on-hit ability is nice with Death Touchers. What's up, Lelia? Nice land. I don't need to trade. I got a shove. When push comes to shove, I'm ready. I'm just gonna hit Lelia now, since this is locked to sorcery speed. Oh, fire magic. That is very bad for me. My snakes! Count on luck. They get a mountain in exile. They have enough mana. They could haste Thor and still have 4 left over. That would be enough to play pretty much any of these. Here comes Thor. See what they grab. They could go for removal. It's only 5 poison if they hit it. Yeah, I think that non-targeting removal is a good choice, though. They go for 5. But with 4 more mana... Ooh, okay, Poetic Ritual. They get 2 damage to any target. My face. That is a valid target. Brotherhood's End! Sure. And then follow up with a little bit of fire magic. That way they're dealing a ton of damage to my face. I'm already down to 11. And my commander's dead. Did not top deck. Why do you want to use Ba Sing Se so bad? Stop it. Don't I have enough to activate it? Am I wildin'? Oh, I don't. I have enough for this, though. They're counting on luck. That gets them a looting. They don't need much to kill me here. That's 1 damage. Sometimes you flood, even with a World Weave out. Nice. And Ghost Fire Slice. They can cast it for even 1 mana. And I am dead. Burn to the face. Thor's a pretty sweet commander. I will absolutely recommend it if you want to play some big red burn. VV, the spell-slinging little dude. And hey, where's my green mana? There's some of my green mana. They're going to be getting huge, tapping for mana, since this is the alchemized version of VV, and slinging a lot of spells at my face. I think that VV is a pretty tricky dude to go up against. But one of the advantages I have in this deck is that my deck is very much built around, like, if my opponent has 1 creature, I can make them sacrifice it. So hopefully we're able to do that, and VV won't get to stick around long enough to cause too much trouble. We have to suffer through the rest of the deck, though, in the meantime, because, well, they're going to be killing and countering and, yeah, you know, all of that, while we try to just get our Serpent Society to land. Hopefully, he didn't learn fire magic yet, because that would be very cruel to my 2 little death touchers here. Oh, I needed to play this in first main. That's fine, I'll go for Serpent Society. Mana leak. Yep, exactly what we expect. Counter spells. Counter spells, burn spells, and eventually VV with a combo kill. Gonna play Corpse Weaver Prodigy. We gain a life off Virulent Emissary. Swing in. Then we're gonna start bridging the gap here. Since I have a bridge from below in the graveyard, if a non-token creature is put into my graveyard, I get a 2/2. And also, if their creatures die, they get exiled. Oh, are you gonna kill my Corpse Weaver Prodigy? I feel like it's a yes. Dang, there it goes. Well, at least I get a zombie. Corpse Weaver Prodigy is a card that is so streamlined to be for bridge from below. Academia's Awakening. I'll actually take that. I might be able to get some cool reanimation going on. Serpent Society versus Gaunty. I'm gonna go for Gaunty here. They don't have any creatures out. I don't have my sacrifice pieces, and of course I want to do crime. And crime I have done. What the heck? I hit 3 lands? Well, I guess I won't be having any mana trouble, at least. On-hit card advantage is fun with this. And I went with Gaunty over Rev, even though Rev has the Death Touch stuff. Because Gaunty's just better if you're going wide. And of course I want to go wide. Ooh, alright, let me play this, this Stolen Island. Serpent Society. I'm gonna try to hit them with a hard-hitting question here. VV has died. Hooray. Yeah, Bridge from Below goes away because I no longer have the exile being prevented by the Corpse Weaver Prodigy. Ooh, Lightning Bolt, Palantir, Ponder, and Search for Azcanta. Is it Board Wipe a Clock? You could replay Vivi. Nothing bad would possibly ever happen to him. Flame of Anor, they don't have a wizard, so they only get 1 mode. They're killing Gaunty. They're saying, you have stolen too much from me. Wrong, I've stolen just enough from you. And I would like to continue stealing from you. Alright, oh gosh, like, I have an orb right here? Wait, I just have lethal with a lightning bolt. First, ninjas. Then, lightning. The ninjutsu, it was not necessary. But I really like bringing out Swarm Saboteur. Kellen, Inquisitive Prodigy. Typically just a crazy Simic ramp commander. This hand is like the perfect poison game plan. But what it's missing, and is a little tricky, is mana for turn 2. Doesn't matter. I got turn 1 Fate Weaver, turn 3 Finn. Better than nothing. They're saying hello. Hello! Hopefully this isn't a stifle. Wouldn't be the first time. We'll maximize our fixin' and bring out a 1 mana creature with Death Touch. Ah, beautiful. A reacher creature. Seeing this Leyline Axe, though, huh. Lava Spur Boots. Maybe this is Kellen Voltron? I've never seen a Kellen Voltron deck before. I'll be entirely honest. It says draw a card. I mean, you get to destroy it sometimes. They got a clue. Play an extra land. More boots. Kellen, you don't need this many boots. Like, I promise you do not. I'll bring out Finn. Finn it to win it. Kellen wants the fit. He wants that fit. Vampire of the Dire Moon. Okay, cool. They have 1 green up. It's Felix 5 Boots Secret Commander. Alright, Kellen is gonna put on the swiftest boots you ever done seen. Oh boy, does he have feet. 2 of them! I guess you destroy your clue. Draw a card. Awesome. Because I got a land, we just go straight in, Triumph of the Hordes, and we swing in. At most, you can prevent 1 damage. You die to poison. Greasefang Okiba Boss. She is going to be bringing back cards, crowing them, and swinging them at my face before putting them back in hand. Greasefang is one of those decks that is so weirdly consistent if you manage to, like, entomb Parhelion. And since we got more tutors and more ways to get that into the graveyard, it is so much more likely that Greasefang is going to go, hey, check out this car in my trash. It's gonna go fast, and then kill you with it. Ooh, they are shocking in. Is that for some removal? Oh, a Thoughtseize. Okay. We have our very silly redirect card here, which is designed to try to force our opponent to target Serpent Society, though in reality it's to turn their kill spells against themselves. Like, if they had done this and I had 2 mana up, I could actually make them Thoughtseize themselves. I wish. They probably do Thoughtseize themselves sometimes, because it's a way to get the stuff into the graveyard. Alright, they drop my Imp's Mischief. It's like they know. They know I want to have fun. I'll play Ashnod and the Foulmire Knight. And swing in with one of my 3 1/1s with Death Touch. They toot. Are you tutoring for a car? Land tax. Well, I do have more lands than you. Ah, but you can't play it this turn. Well, alright then. I guess I'll swing in. They don't have any creatures, so I don't really want to sacrifice anything to Ashnod. And here is my Serpent Society. Yeah, that's a card I'm pretty fine with you tutoring for. Like, It stinks if you're behind on land, but you didn't have white mana to do this. Okay, so they're killing Ashnod because they know it's one of my sacrifice on demands, and they discarded a car. The dependable Quinjet. I guess I'll just, like, commit everything to the board. Ophelia, a frog, everybody's in here. If I get 5 mana, and I guess I do have 5 mana, whenever a Gorgon or Snake I control deals combat damage, they lose half their life. Guess who's a snake? It's also counts for itself because it's Gorgons, but like, hey! I was showing off synergy between the cards. Do you know how little Death Touch synergy there is? It's not a lot. Okay, so they have 5 poison. They've gotten rid of my commander. But the snakes return. Unlike your cars, which are staying in the shop. Just look at all the lands they have. I mean, overfilling your hand's also a good way to discard things into the graveyard. Are you playing the rat? I'm playing a hearse. Okay. I feel like you could have played the rat and the hearse this turn because you could tap that for mana. No, they just want to get rid of my Death Touchers. Okay. Oh, it makes the Ochu worse. Aw, man. Yeah, now my commander has hexproof. A final flourish. They're doing all this while they don't have a creature out. Three more lands. Is it time for rats? You only have 4 life left. The dependable Quinjet's in play. You want to tap it for mana? Just put it back in your hand. It just goes in their hand. All right, and then they get to discard again. You want to discard lands, vehicles? Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll play Sephiroth. Da-da-da-da. Eats this guy. Makes you sacrifice. They can either sacrifice the unlicensed Hearst or Greasefang. Since I drew essentially a kill spell, though, I think we are golden here. I mean, also just attacking in would be lethal. But I want to ask them a hard-hitting question. Who's your favorite rat? I'd prefer it to be Greasefang than Nashi, but, like, she doesn't seem to do that well for you. Nicol Bolas, God, Pharaoh. It could be control, it could be crime, it could be doing a little bit of both. I've turn 1 ramp, I have Fate Weaver. I have one of the few ways to generate additional death-touching creatures. You just gotta clone them. And, I don't know, Questing Beast. It's here, too. I think leading with the Birds of Paradise is nice. This is just like a funky little reanimator. Oh my gosh, they spiked my bird. It's 100% control. A proper crimer? You don't need that. Psychic Frog. Hopefully I can hold it at bay with a Fate Weaver, but probably not because they probably have an assortment of kill spells. Polygon's Command. I will discard... Yeah, let's go Questing Beast. Psychic Frog gets to swing in and draw. I will play my Serpent Society. And they can just make Psychic Frog fly, so they don't have to trade. Hippity hoppity, there goes that frog. I'm gonna throw Springheart and Tuco onto Serpent Society. Okay, if they put it on one of their creatures, it does get the +1/+1, but I lose the ability to clone. I still get 1/1s, but it's a very weird thing. It's if it's attached to a creature you control, they design the card to not work on your opponent's stuff, which I think is lame. Let me steal. I get to draw, but they get rid of my Death Toucher. Psychic Frog swings in. I will block you with your progeny. Monkey. I'll fix with a Gix. Swing with the Serpent. Play a Hobbit. Play a Quagmire. Get another 1/1. They'll be able to play Bolus next turn. Well, if they get a land. We'll see. They're making Gix unable to scream. They're stealing from the top of my deck. You looking at my stuff? And they're killing the Hobbit. Get me some more 1/1s. Did you get a land? Yes, they did. And here comes Nicol Bolas, God Pharaoh. Boop. Congrats on the snake guy. They're not going in with the Psychic Frog. I would have tried to block with the Quagmire, but, you know, they could always discard and animate. Okay, Unearth can grab me Fate Weaver. Can grab me my Commander after I trade it into a Serpent Specialist. We'll make it work. I'll go in with my Hissing Quagmire and my Serpent Society. Decline and reanimate. Hello? Hi! They steal from the top of my library. They have stolen a land. They play Robber of the Rich. My hand's empty, so that doesn't do too much. You ain't coming in? Why not? Yeah, bit by bit. I'll deal a little bit of damage at a time. Eventually, you'll get somewhere. Alright, Questing Beast is probably the pick here. I'll turn my Shifting Woodland into Questing Beast. And I'm swinging with everything but Gix. They can discard one card to beef up the frog, but that would just allow them to do a very basic block of Questing Beast. And it looks like they're just giving up. Despite Bolus's power, they're just not here for it. Hey, Tony, you gonna be bringing in some artifacts? I bet you will. Tony Stark is one of those cards that can cheat in a spell, any mana value, as long as it's an artifact. And if it's an equipment, it equips to him for free. If it happens to be Genji Glove, it can even deal 20 damage in one turn. This is a card that you can either play it and transform it, or just cast it from the backside. And if you cast it from the backside, it's actually an artifact, so you can, like, discount it using things that care about discounting artifact spells. Neat. Good old Tony. Hi, Goldhound. That's an artifact. I will play a snake. I'll play a little hissy quagmire, and I'll swing in for one. This card is actually pretty good against my deck just because it is a 1/1 with first strike. Yeah, there's this whole Death Touchers. They're usually not that strong. Yeah, I think this is a really good commander. I had good luck with playing it because the front side is just card advantage. Ooh, Finn. Finn is fun. I kind of like playing the Chthonian Nightmare because I don't have a land in hand. Just like set this up. Make it harder for them to counter it so I can get this out next turn. What's up, Tony? Tonifer. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Okay. That's, I guess, card advantage. It's bounce. It can Fate Seal. So they're just bouncing Fen. But they got rid of their first striker. Cool. Hey, do you want to trade? You should. Actually, I probably shouldn't even have given them the option and just gone right for my Chthonian Nightmare juggling. X equals 1. Get Tony out of here. And because I do not want to deal with Jace, get him out of here. They're still up on lots of cards. Want to replay Tony? Hey, I'll have you know I worked hard to try to get the Serpent Society to work. This was one of, like, I want to say it was the 4th deck I built from this set. And I just had to keep revisiting it and starting over with it because it's so difficult to get a deck like this to work. What we bringing out here? Where's your artifacts? An unexpected windfall. 2 more mana. Hardest part of building Serpent Society. The cards in it individually are not good. That is just how a deck like this is gonna roll. And a lot of people are like, well, you could try Serpent Society as a Voltron commander. You can. It doesn't work very well. Ward 5 is, like, Ward get 5 poison counters. That is not enough of a discouragement to stop people. And there's so many board wipes and sacrifices, and you will match into them if you play this as Voltron. Yeah, it's hard to have good enough serpents in your Serpent Society. Oh, what's up, Tony? Tony, how do you feel about dying? I know, kind of like a loaded question. But how do you feel about death? Poison? Feel alright about it? He feels alright about it. This is, I think, somebody actually in the Serpent Society. Is that her on the bottom right? A lot of snakes. Bye, Tony. It's Hit Monkey. Speaking of a little bit of Voltron, this is a commander that Voltron's like no other. It's got Death Touch, it's got Haste, it has Hexproof, and weirdly, it also has Reach. Did I say that already? Well, it does. It has Vigilance, Reach, all this. It's text. Look at it. Oh my god, and it's so good to put +1/+1 counters on. It's good to hold equipment. He loves swords. He would have a gun if he could. But there's not that many guns in Magic the Gathering, so he doesn't have that many guns. But he would if he could. All right, let's start getting some Death Touchers all up in here. I will play White Widow, Yelena Belova, and a Burog Banemaker. Yeah, I have Death Touch, you have Death Touch. We all have Death Touch here. He has a gun in Marvel Snap. Yeah, and I think, like, the most well-known art of Hitmonkey is him holding, like, 2 long pistols. Do we have the monkey in my Serpent Society deck? I don't. I'm running Questing Beast instead because this deck has trouble with Planeswalkers. Oh, Wary Zone Guard. It's just a good card. I can set up to make them sacrifice. I think I'll just play Finn. Go for poison. The Warrior Zone Guard might be able to ramp them. But I got all these other nice tasty triggers. It's Death Touch Typal! Questing Beast is kind of serpentine. He has, like, the 3 long snake heads. Is it time to hit it? Or monkey it? Hardened Bonds, +1/+1 counters, gets them card draw. an Ice Till Explorer to turn ramp into more ramp into torn. There's it's all ramp all the time. They have many, many lands in the graveyard. Is there a way in Arena to remove poison counters? Sun Cleanser and Malira, kind of. A lot of landfall stuff. I found one of the strongest ways to buff Hitmonkey is to put +1/+1 counters on him with landfall abilities. This isn't their hand. These are lands in the graveyard. Thanks, Ice Till Explorer. I'll play my Serpent Society. And I'll swing in with White Widow and Borog Banemaker. I'm going to leave back Finn. If they block, each block kills 2 of their creatures, right? Oh, except, I guess it depends a little on how they block. This kills all their creatures. It prevents all poison. But, like, my commander trades with their commander. Oh, Malira slows down the poison. Okay, they're going for these kills. Arroyo Grazer also sacrificed. But this way they avoid getting to 6 poison, and this doesn't get hexproof. You gonna play a Hitmonkey, Mr. Domino? Is it a snake deck? There's a bunch of snakes in it. Jesse Zane likes snakes. What's up, Mikey? Hitmonkey. This is gonna get 2 +1/+1 counters, and they're gonna get a creature in their hand. If they attack in, I can choose to trade with, like, Serpent Society here. Cool. No trades. Swinging with both. Oh, they're thinking about it. If you block one, you may as well block both. Serpent Society lives. So let's just get a big nasty Death Toucher out here. Baragoyf. Yeah, I think that this is one of the decks that will do better against Hitmonkey because it's a built-in Edict effect on the commander. Very often we'll match into things that have like a bunch of tokens and we're out here like, oh boy, you sacrificed nothing. Ooh, Fanatic Aronis. It's a good snake right there. They blocked like that because they wanted to kill Finn. I can recast Serpent Society. I don't have as many ways to bring back Finn. Okay, Fanatic Aronis is cheeked up. I'll swing in with these two. You tap down a blocker, right? Yeah. We mill. I want to tap you for green. Jesse Zane. Have a spider. Do I want to go for killing the Fanatic of Ronas, or is that too dramatic? It's just dramatic enough. I can sacrifice Fate Weaver to search for a spider hero in my deck. There is a spider hero in my deck. It's Gwenum. She's gonna go get him. Oh, and Steel City Brad and Steel City Seth just raided my channel while we're playing with our snakes. Yeah, 13 toughness. It means very little to Death Touch. The monkey! is unleashed. And yeah, they can tap down Jesse Zane and deal 3 whole damage. We turn around, we swing at them, and actually, I would have reanimated the Finn first because I top decked to reanimate. GG. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars, the Serpent Society. It's okay. This is a deck that's not going to be able to get past a lot of decks that generate a lot of value, especially decks that don't play a lot of creatures. Because, oh no, you're forcing your opponent to sacrifice the creatures they don't have. They don't care. They'll just keep wiping the board. I had one game that I cut from this video because it was way too long, where we survived through 3 board wipes, managed to rebuild, got them to 9 poison and 2 life, but we couldn't close out the game because unfortunately, they just had oodles of kill spells and a way to recur a board wipe every turn, so I had no way to force them to target my Serpent Society. Oh well, too bad. So sad. But I think Serpent Society is a pretty unique deck, and I like that. I like that this deck is able to do something a little different. It is a Death Toucher deck, like Finn, but it's doing more. It's got that sacrifice sub-theme. You can actually make it more of a sacrifice deck, but I think my favorite cards are the ones that can sacrifice themselves in this deck. Whether we're talking about like Fate Weaver, or one that I did not get to do at all in this video, but I've done before, Servant of the Stinger. These self-sacrificing Death Touchers are such a fun way to get triggers from Serpent Society and make your opponent lose their blockers so you get to do more cool things. Blockers or attackers, I should say. If you're looking for the deck list for this video, you can find it in the description. And if you would like to suggest a commander from the upcoming Hobbit set, please let me know. I think I mentioned in the video, this deck was actually like the 4th deck that I built from Marvel. I just didn't record it until now. I have a whole bunch of decks like Fin Fang Foom that I didn't record because I didn't think they were that interesting. This one, however, is kind of interesting because it's got snakes in it. And I like snakes. They're cute. And I want to hold one because they're really fun to hold. I like their skills. Thank you all so much for watching and have a brawlful day.